So you're reading through yet another job description, and when you click the apply button to apply, you see that they're not only asking for a CV, but there's also a section for the optional cover letter. And you think, oh, I have to spend ages doing the cover letter as well. And you might even have these questions going through your mind. One, do I even really need a cover letter? Or two, how can I make my cover letter really memorable? And I know it can be painful to do this for every job, but in this video, I'm going to answer both of those questions and also give you a template that you can use to make the process of writing a cover letter as painless as possible. Hey there and welcome back to my channel. My name's Eva and I'm a career coach and customer success director on a mission to help people build meaningful careers. I have new videos coming out every Friday on all things career, and as of this moment, I am at 97 subscribers, trying to reach 100. So if you're watching this, I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the bell to get notified for new videos every week. And it also really helps me to keep this channel going. So help me reach 100, just hit the subscribe button. So as a hiring manager myself, I was really happy to get this question on how to make your cover letter memorable. And I think it's a really important topic to talk about. So let's dig right in. And by the end of this video, you'll also have a template that you can use to make sure writing cover letters is a breeze. So first question, do you really need a cover letter for your application? I mean, do you want the job? That's what you have to ask yourself. And here's the thing that hiring managers are looking for. Mainly, I break it down into two sections. It's skill and will. And typically, for more junior roles or not for the most senior level roles, the balance tips way more on the side of will. So hiring managers want you to show them how much do you really want this job. If you really wanted the job, you'd probably prepare and find out about the company. If you really wanted the job, you'd probably dress the part and make sure you're prepared when you go into interview. And if you really wanted the job, you'd make an effort to write a one-pager explaining why you want the job to begin with. Now, a lot of applicants don't submit cover letters at all, so the fact that you are submitting a cover letter will make you stand out and look more professional. So don't miss out on the opportunity. I would also say that the more time you take to personalize your application, the better your chances will be for getting that job. If you are sending out hundreds of applications every day, then you're not going to get very far with that. So spend an hour, spend a couple of hours on each of your applications, do no more than 1 or 2 a day, and you'll see that you'll get much better results from that. Ideally, we want to get you to the point where you're just headhunted and you no longer need to write a cover letter because your skills speak for themselves. But in the meantime, try to demonstrate to the company why you would be a huge asset and why they're missing out by not hiring you, because you're brilliant. So that brings me on to the 3 golden rules of cover letters, with the first one being, just write one. It's not optional. Get your cover letter in. The second one, keep it short and sweet. The hiring manager doesn't have hours to read through your cover letter, so no more than 1 pager, you only need 3 or 4 paragraphs. And number 3, make sure that there are no spelling and grammar mistakes. This will go against demonstrating your professionalism. Make sure you've run it through Grammarly. There are so many tools that you can use to make sure there are no spelling and grammar mistakes, and get someone else to read it, just to make sure that you haven't missed out on any potential mistakes and that it flows really well. I'm hoping you have a pen and paper ready or your laptop at the ready to start writing this cover letter. You can literally do it while I'm talking in this video. And I'll tell you what the basics are and then how to make it even more memorable. So most people start their cover letter with, "To whom it may concern," or "Dear hiring manager." That's fine, that will get the basics done. If you want to be more memorable, what you need to add in is that person's actual name. People like to see their name written down. It shows that you've made the effort. So just get your stalk on. Who is the hiring manager? It shouldn't be too difficult to find. Even if it's ultimately not that person who's going to be reading that, they're not going to mind. It still looks like you made the effort. Your next standard sentence should be where you find the job and what role you're applying for. It may be that that department has multiple hires coming in, so you want to make it as clear as possible. And I would also add in the word, I am excited, showing again your will. So I am excited to be applying for the role of X at company X. That should be your basic first sentence. Now here's how you can make it a little bit more memorable, and it's adding a little bit of humor. Jobs can be tough and tiring and boring sometimes. So people like to have people they enjoy being around, people who don't take themselves too seriously. So you have one moment to be a little bit more fun and light, which is your first sentence. And I'll give you an example for what that looks like in a sales job. Now, this is no space to add anything rude or insulting. It just can be a little bit more lighthearted. If you're starting a sales role, before you say that you're applying for this role at this company, you could say something along the lines of, you know that adrenaline rush when you make a sale? The first time that happened to me made me sure that I wanted to be a salesperson, and that's why I'm applying for this role at your company, which I found on LinkedIn. So it's just a little bit, that's something that adds a little bit of personality. You know, you can be funny, you can be smart, you can be witty. Make sure it's relevant to the role, but get people to feel something, get people to understand your personality a little bit in that first sentence. Paragraph 1 needs to be a continuation of your will. Why do you actually want that job? And why do you want it in that company? And there's no shortcut around this. You just have to do your research on the company. Look at the problem that they're solving. What is it that they're offering their customers, and why does that resonate with you? Why is this a business that you want to get behind? Most companies will have their mission and their vision outlined on their website, so it shouldn't take you too long, but you can also check out their social media pages to find out what the culture is like and whether that fits in with you. So your paragraph number 1 should look a little bit something like this. Your mission to whatever the mission is really resonates with me, and then insert specific example that you have. And again, it doesn't matter if you don't have lots of work experience or you haven't done that job previously, but think about what you can bring to the company. So you have a commitment to deliver an excellent service to customers, and you've always done this through some of your volunteering jobs that you did in your spare time, then that's great. Add that in. Important warning, this is not about what the company can do for you. So it's not, I want a big brand name on my CV. Think about the mission and how you can add your skills and your excitement to that project. Paragraph number 2, now you're going into the skills section, and you are going to have to demonstrate what your key skills are and how they can apply to that role. Read through the job description, and they should be outlining the skills that they're looking for. So think about your previous experiences and how you can add those in. So your second paragraph should go a little bit something like this. So I spent the last year doing this role at this company, and this should line up just with your CV. As the role that I was doing, I worked on, and then talk about a specific project that you worked on. And how did it go? What were the results? Try and quantify this. So how did they save the business time, save the business money, create something new, make something more organized? How did you do it? If you can try and quantify this, and then describe how those skills would also be replicable and applicable to the new role. So I use my project management skills to develop a new process that the team could use. I would use these skills and implement them within my new role. So that's your paragraph 2, really talking about the skills. And you only have to give 1 or 2 examples here. It doesn't have to be very long, but think about what is the top skill that you have to bring and how are you going to apply it in that new role. And remember, a big part of being memorable is just being specific. So if someone tells you, I want to be an entrepreneur and I had lots of entrepreneurial projects when I was younger, this doesn't tell me anything. But if you tell me, when I was 14, I was breeding guinea pigs because I knew it took 20 pounds to feed them and I could sell them on for 30 pounds, then that really shows me that you've got an entrepreneurial mindset. And that is actually a true story and a true example that I have. So not one of my own, someone else's. I'm not sure how I feel about guinea pigs. But anyway, you need to try and give a specific example. Again, it can be from any area of your life as long as the skill is applicable. Your closing paragraph is quite simple, really. The most basic version of the closing paragraph is, "Thank you so much for considering my application. I look forward to meeting with you to discuss this further." And you can literally use that sentence at the end of every one. And yes, it gets the job done. To make this memorable, reiterate your key skill and your will to do the job. So your last sentence could look something like, if you're looking for someone to bring great energy to the team, coupled with experience in the field that you're going after, provided you have some previous experience there, then I'm the person for the job. Another great trick to make this memorable is to try to use the company's voice when you're writing. So you'll be able to see from their website and their communications, how do they refer to each other? You know, Salesforce call themselves the Ohana. So you could say, I can't wait to be a part of the Ohana and I feel that my skills would really contribute to this team. You know, so think about what is the language that they're using. So if it's more casual and more fun, then you can make your cover letter a bit more casual and a bit more fun. If it's really professional, then maybe you want to avoid the jokes. So try to tailor to the company's way of talking. Avoid telling the hiring manager that you may not be the person for the job. And I've seen this a lot, and people think that it displays honesty, but people can see what your skills are from your CV. So you don't need to say, I may not be the best candidate for the role, or I may not have all of the skills required, because you're just pulling yourself out of the race before you've even started. They can see your skills, it's up to them to make that judgment. So instead of wasting the space saying why you might not be good enough, highlight why you would be good enough. Give examples of where you've given initiative and you've done something new before and how you would want to contribute. Also, if you know that you are going to be sending your cover letter online, which I think will be the case for a lot of jobs these days, then you can also use hyperlinks quite cleverly. So if you know that you've got a YouTube channel or you have a project that you've been working on that you're able to share, you could link to it as one of the projects that you're working on. So again, show someone, don't tell them. Actually give them a chance to see some of your work. So if you can and you have something that's available, a portfolio, make sure you link to it in your cover letter as well. So there you have it, my top tips on getting your cover letter out there and making it as memorable as possible, giving you the best chances to get the job. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to make sure you catch new videos every Friday. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in there, and we'll speak soon.